Consider the following text for our hearing this morning. It's taken from the Gospel of Luke chapter 18, beginning at verse 39. Then those who were before him warned him that he should be quiet. But he cried out all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." So Jesus stood still and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he had come near, he asked him, saying, "What do you want me to do for you?" And he said to the Lord, "I want to receive my sight." Then Jesus said to him, "Receive your sight. Your faith has saved you." For our meditation today, I want to talk from the subject, to meaning from meaningless. To meaning from meaningless. Weeks before Jesus arrived into Jerusalem for the last time, there were things he had to do to get ready for his triumphant entry. Some of those things were to make sure that he secured his mother a place to stay when he was gone. He had to make sure that the 12 disciples he had chosen were serious about that which he had commissioned them to do, to carry out the work that he had called them to do. And then he also had to deal with some disappointing friends, such as Judas, who betrayed him and turned him in for pieces of silver and gold. Then he had to deal with himself, getting himself ready as he got his mind prepared to do that which no other person could do on our behalf. That was to go before the cross, take the cross upon his shoulder, and take our sins upon that same cross. This is a week or two before his triumphant entry into Jerusalem for the last time. So why is this important for us for the week of Holy Week? Because it's one thing that he leaves done, one thing he does for sure, to make sure that that which he did on Holy Week would bring a culmination to that which he would do to help someone to get to Holy Week. There was a man by the name of blind Bartimaeus who was sitting by the wayside, who heard that Jesus is coming to town. And when he hears that he is coming to town, even though he could not see, he had the senses to know that this was the Savior of the world. He cried out, Bartimaeus did, "Son of David, Jesus, help me, have mercy upon me." It's amazing that even though Bartimaeus could not see, he could recognize that this was not just any person passing through. It was Jesus, Son of David, upon whom he asked, "Have mercy upon me." And those who were in the way there began to criticize Bartimaeus, and they told him to be quiet because they thought that he was disturbing Jesus. But all the times they would say to him, "Be quiet," all the more he would cry out even louder, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy upon me. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy upon me." It is here that Jesus asked that Bartimaeus be brought to him. And when Bartimaeus is brought to him, he asks him, "What would you like for me to do for you?" Bartimaeus asked one thing: "Give me sight to see." In this text, we can point out a few things that will help us as we address what is happening before Holy Week and as we enter into Holy Week. First of all, we come to realize that sometimes being blind does not mean that people really cannot see. It is here that even though Bartimaeus is blind, he recognizes even blindly that this is the Son of David. That's not just any son, but the Son of David. It's amazing and awe-striking how those who had walked with Jesus for so long had taken him so for granted that they did not recognize who he was. And even though they had physical sight to see, they did not have spiritual sight to see. So often we have physical sight, but not spiritual sight. But here's a man who did not have physical sight, but he had spiritual sight. He could see and recognize that this wasn't just anybody passing through. It was Jesus, Son of David, who was passing through. And that this Jesus, the Son of David, had power. This Son of David had the ability and the wherewithal to give him something he longed for, the sight to physically see. But the text also shows us something that Physical blindness has nothing to do with who you know. You see, Bartimaeus was from a family who were aristocrats. And because he grew up in a family that was well known, the fact that he had become a beggar as a blind man was upsetting to his own family. The fact that he had to depend on others to carry him where he went, or to provide for him the means by which he would be able to get along in life, it upset his family and those who knew his family. But Bartimaeus was humble enough to know that no matter how wealthy we are, wealth cannot guarantee heaven. He was wealthy, yes, but he realized he needed something that money could not buy. And the only way that sick people can be healed spiritually, they have to have Jesus. The only way that people can be born again, they must have Jesus. So he understood that even though he was in this situation, his background did not matter. What mattered to him the most was where he was going. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy upon me. But then he does something that all of us must do when we humble ourselves before Jesus. He received the good news and blessing of Jesus. When Jesus asked him, "What do you want from me?" he said, "I want simply to be able to see." He did not ask him for a mansion. He did not ask him for a Rolls Royce. He did not ask him for those things that are temporal things. He asked them for the ability to see. And as we come into this week of Holy Week, this being the Wednesday of Holy Week, the day before Maundy Thursday, when they will have the Last Supper for the last time prior to the death and resurrection of Christ, all we ask tonight is that Jesus will give us sight to see and will bring us to meaningful lives from unmeaningful lives. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy upon me. Give us the sight to see spiritually as only you can give it.
Thank you for joining Pastor Young and the John Wesley Church in Southfield for Rise and Rest, the Lenten Journey. Stay connected with us Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. for Lent devotions with Pastor Young and friends from around the world. We invite you to visit our website at jwamezsouthfield.org/Lent as we journey together through this season. On our website, you will find a Lent playlist to explore songs that help us to center our minds and spirits for this season, information on fasting and fasting options, an opportunity to sign up for daily reminders, and download a free copy of the Rise and Rest devotional and journaling guide, a 40-day message. We look forward to journeying together with you in this Lenten season. We will see you tomorrow as we rise and rest with Christ.